Friends, this is a post-lunch session. The most difficult session for people on this side of the dais, because you have a choice, we don't. I have been asked to speak on a very contemporary subject, that is about tackling political and security issues that the country is facing, obviously. The scope of the subject is very vast. So probably I will not get too much into all aspects of it. I will limit myself to one major aspect of it. Since the topic is not about the political security issues, but about tackling them, I will just focus on one core aspect. If only we understand that aspect, we will be successful in tackling all these issues for all the times to come. And that core issue to my mind is what certain scholars call as strategic culture. Now, what is this strategic culture? If we understand this one very important idea, and if we try and cultivate this culture in our society, especially in the ruling elites of our society, I am sure we would be able to tackle much of the concerns that we have today in terms of our security, in terms of our polity at large. For us to understand what I meant by strategic culture, let me give you a couple of illustrations. I mean, this might be a slightly provocative statement, but I consider Chanakya, Kautilya, as in a way, last strategic thinker of India. After that, in the last more than 2 millennia, we have had political thinkers, we have had statesmen, but unfortunately we did not come across many a strategic thinker. What was the greatness of Chanakya? He was the guide and philosopher of a king, of an emperor who was ruling the present day Bihar, with his sway over large parts of India, but not necessarily the entire Bharatvarsha. But it was Chanakya who knew that Pataliputra, that is present day Patna, was not secure as long as the present day Afghanistan was not secure. So, Chanakya insists that Chandragupta should make friends with the republics on the outer territory of Bharatvarsha. They were small tribal republics, far removed from Chandragupta's empire, in no way a threat to Chandragupta. But Chanakya tells him that nothing doing, you have to make friends with them. Why? Because they are your guards at the borders. They will secure India so that Patna will be secure. He also insists that Chandragupta should marry the daughter of Seleucus. Chandragupta says, I am already a married man. Chanakya's reply was, king has no choice. Kings cannot choose whether to have one wife or many. This is not a statement against womanhood. Don't take it that way. But here the issue is that in order for your empire to be secure, it's your responsibility to marry, if necessary, more than once. If necessary, you have to marry into the family of your enemy. I mean, Chandragupta was so fed up that ultimately he tells Chanakya that I cannot lead the life the way you dictate me to lead. I thought emperorship is all about happy living. But I realized that anything but happiness is there in this. So he finally becomes a Jain. The Ardhashastra, the treatise that is attributed to Chandragupta, is all about the strategic political doctrines. It's not just an ordinary political theory. He talks about kings. He talks about neighbors. He talks about neighbors' neighbors. He talks about 12 types of kingdoms. How you have to look at each type of kingdom. How to behave with them. How a king should behave within his country and without, outside. This is what is called strategic culture. The other person who came little close to this, but nowhere in comparison to Chanakya, was Emperor Ashoka. Many people might get surprised by this statement also, why I am bringing Ashoka into picture. Ashoka was one emperor who thought that in order for the Bharatvarsha, not the present day India, I am talking about the larger entity called Bharatvarsha, to remain secure, I have to create a buffer around it. Buffer in the form of Buddhism. It was his idea to take Buddhism to neighboring countries. He sent his son, his daughter to neighboring countries. Under his regime, starting with him, Buddhism started spreading into all around India, thereby creating a cushion outside India. After that, for various reasons, we have given up this whole concept of strategic culture. This is all about your thinking. I will give you one very important example about one of our neighbors, namely China. China used to be invaded from the north by the nomadic Mongols, Manchus. All those people used to invade it from the north.